this is Sarah Archer, back with you from RRRASOC. Today I want to talk with you about how to reduce your waste. Just think about it. If we didn't have anything to throw away, what a different world it would be. And we could actually get pretty close to that. I can't say we're going to always have no waste, but we can get pretty close by doing just a few things ourselves to reduce the amount of material that we send to the landfill or even put into our recycling bin. So here today I'm going to show you a couple of things that you could do that would help cut back on the amount of things you have to dispose of. Again, whether it's in your trash bin or your recycling bin. So hang on, let me show you. Probably the most popular thing that people do, whether they think about it as a waste reduction action or not, is just reusing a water bottle or some kind of a beverage container. Maybe you take your coffee from home and you've got it in a thermos container. Maybe you go to school every day, or you send your children with a water bottle that they can refill at school. Whatever it is, just think about the number of water bottles that you're saving from the recycling cart or even from the landfill. An interesting tip is that only 1 in 10 water bottles are actually recycled. So that's a pretty significant number of bottles that are going to the landfill. So you're helping a lot by just reusing your container, a reusable drink container like this, for carrying your beverages, your favorite beverages. It's really awesome too if you do like to take your lunch to work or again send your kids. There's so many different containers out there on the market right now for putting hot foods as well as cold foods into a reusable lunch container. So again, just think about all of that waste that we're not having to generate by using a reusable container. Another great idea is to invest in some cutlery that's made from bamboo, or just grab some silverware out of your drawer, put it in a container, keep it handy in your purse, your glove box, because you know a lot of the packaging waste that we get rid of and put into our recycling bins is actually stuff that we get while we're on the go. And so when you have your own little cutlery handy, it also saves on those plastic pieces that you're getting at the fast food joints. And you know, it's kind of a shame that we actually use a plastic silverware, you know, knife, fork, spoon, and then use it for what, 10 or 15 minutes and toss it. It takes a lot of resources to make those items when we think about it. And so let's try to reuse it if we can. All right, another neat thing that you can invest in, and these are again all over in your retail stores, online. They're very easy to find, but these are silicone bags. They're really great and handy too for snacks instead of using the disposable type of plastic bags that you would send maybe with your kids to school. But these are washable and reusable over and over again. Same with this is a sandwich bag that's can be used, again, plastic lined. So it's reusable over and over again. Again, think how many bags, number one, you're not going to throw away, and two, how much money you're going to save because you're not going to have to buy those bags all the time. So it's a benefit to the environment, but a benefit to your pocketbook too. So you probably remember from a previous episode me talking about the importance of taking your cardboard boxes and flattening them so that they go through our equipment a lot easier, but also to empty them. Well, cereal boxes have a secret surprise for me inside, and that's the plastic liner. They are able to be recycled at your local retail stores with your plastic grocery bags, but for me, I see them as a super reusable bag that I like to put my pizza in. So everybody eats pizza, and for me, I like to store my pizza in these bags. Why? Because pizza slices sometimes are too big for any containers that I have at my house. And two, I can pack them individually into a bag like this and take it with me to my office. They go right into the microwave. This bag is microwavable. I can take the bag then and open it up and eat my pizza right from it. So I'm not only using it as a reheatable bag, but it serves as my plate as well. So it's really great. You can also reuse these once they're open like that, clean it off, wipe it up. Do you have kids who like Play-Doh, grandkids? Set it on your table as a surface, covered up for that surface, and it helps protect that surface from the sticky Play-Doh or, you know, those funny different kinds of sticky things that kids like to play with. So again, there's a little secret tip for you. Maybe this will become one of your favorite reusables, just like me. Last but not least are the reusables you can get for leftovers. So again, sometimes when you're traveling, it's easier just to take things in something that's disposable. But again, if we think about trying to avoid disposables, there's so many, again, cool things on the market that you can eat and heat and eat your food right in it, all in the same thing. And this is just an example of a soup cup, but it's also great for other heatable types of foods that you can pop right into a microwave and wash and use again. And I'm sure you're all familiar with the coffee mug, right? Everybody does that. But again, think about when you're at the office. Are you using a reusable coffee mug at work, or are you using a cup that's disposable and it's going to go into the trash? You know, you can talk to your boss or your colleagues and say, hey, maybe we should look at reducing our waste, and let's all bring our own coffee mug into the office and start using it that way too. It's also going to save your business some money by not having, again, to buy those disposable cups. They're just going into the trash. Here's another one I oftentimes get funny looks at the restaurant. So this is actually a container that you can see is pretty flat, so it fits really well into my bags a lot of times when I go into a restaurant. I have leftovers, and so this container, pretty nifty, is like an accordion, and so it pops open, and I can stick my leftovers right inside of it and take it away with me. So instead of having to get the disposable throwaway container from the restaurant I'm eating at, I can just put my leftovers in this container, put my lid on, and walk out and take it home to reheat at home without creating a lot of additional waste. I get some looks, like I said. Sometimes people are really impressed with that, and sometimes people are like, you're kind of weird, lady. But hey, they call me an earth nerd for a reason, so that's really fun. I'm sure you all have some little habits that you like to take part in at your home and with your family that helps to reduce waste. So if you've got some of those great ideas, you should send it to us at RRRASOC. You can reach us at education@rasoc.org. That's my email. I'd love to hear about some of your new tips and ideas for reducing waste. What do you do with clothing that you don't want anymore, or maybe you've outgrown them, or maybe, even better yet, you've lost some weight and they're too big for you to wear anymore? Well, there's a nice, simple solution called simple recycling. If you are a member of RRRASOC communities, which includes Southfield, the city of Southfield residents, you can put your unwanted clothing into the simple recycling program simply by bagging them up and putting them at your front door. So let's talk a minute about that. Why not take it and drop it off at your thrift store? Well, that's a great idea because for those of us that can get out and do that. But if you're not one who wants to drive out and take your materials, your unwanted clothing and things, maybe you're, have some restrictions with mobility, or you can't get into your car very easily, you want to just maybe use the simple recycling program. It's so easy to do. Take the clothing you don't want, maybe again, any type of usable, good clothing is fine. You can also put in some household accessory items. So your fashion accessories, such as your old purses that you don't want anymore, belts, jewelry, even some of your sleeping bags and things like that, bedding materials, curtains, anything like that that would come from your home that's made out of fabric is all acceptable with the simple recycling program. One big question I get is, well, what about, things that are a little bit damaged, or maybe they're stained? I spilled mustard from my hot dog on my shirt and now it's stained, I can't get it out. What about that? Or what about those holey socks? Well, I happen to have some holey socks here. And it's okay, you can put your holey socks in there, because once all this material gets to simple recycling, they will actually sort the material and grade it. And the good items that are still usable, they will actually sell to other thrift organizations. And then the things that are kind of medium grade will go to sell on the international market. And then things like our holey socks, and even those hot pads that you used and maybe thankfully burned it instead of your hands, will actually get shredded and used as some kind of an insulation material, or even into other fabric materials and maybe respun into other fabrics. So I always like to tell folks, have you ever, or maybe you haven't, but if you ever get a chance to look up under the hood of your car, and instead of looking at the engine, if you look at the top of your hood, there's actually kind of a piece of cardboard looking stuff that's there, but if you pull that back, underneath there's a layer of insulation, and that insulation is actually made out of recycled fabric and textiles. So it's kind of cool to know that those will actually get saved from the landfill and made into another useful product. Did you know that the average person throws out about 68 pounds of clothing every single year? That's a whole lot. And so again, we've made it really simple for you to recycle these textiles and clothing and articles like this by using the simple recycling program. So how exactly does it work? Well, it's pretty simple. You just take the items you don't want and you put it into a bag, any kind of bag. It can be a black trash bag, it can be a clear bag, it could be a grocery sack. It could even be a box, and you just put that all together in your bag. You do want to get a hold of Simple Recycling to schedule an appointment, because it's an appointment-based program. And then once you've made that appointment, you set this out in the morning. It's by 7:30 in the morning on your front porch, the day that you've scheduled your appointment. And then they'll come by and pick it up from you. So it's just that simple. You don't take it to the curb, you take it and just drop it on your front porch. So it's that simple. Simple Recycling to recycle all of your textiles and household items like purses and accessories. And here's a reminder about our upcoming household hazardous waste events. They're starting in April, so be sure to check our website, www.rasoc.org, for our entire schedule. And look for that postcard in the mail. It'll be coming soon.